Today I want to talk about soccer, and more specifically I want to talk about the soccer culture in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Argentina being a large South American country with a very unique soccer culture, which is slightly different from the rest of the world. So to start, I want to talk about how the Argentine and soccer culture in Buenos Aires is different from everywhere else. And I want to highlight soccer teams that you guys might have heard of, that being from the MLS. So the MLS currently has 29 teams that compete in the league, 30 starting in 2025. If we take a look at all of the soccer teams within the metropolitan area of Buenos Aires has 23 soccer teams, just in the capital. If we take London, for an example, which has 4 different national leagues, 17 teams are located within London. So Argentina, by some accounts, by some studies, depending on which ones you look at, has the greatest number of soccer teams located within one city. So that means that a lot of different teams have been able to create an identity within Buenos Aires and Argentina. So just some defining moments in the soccer culture in Buenos Aires and Argentina. You have the 1930 World Cup, where Argentina makes it to the final against Uruguay, Uruguay being the host nation. Argentina loses the final 2-4. And less than 2 months later, historians argue that the loss led directly to the 1930 Argentine coup. So if your nation overthrows its government because of a loss at a sporting event, I would consider that sporting event very important to your national culture. And 1978 is also the year that Argentina hosts and wins the World Cup. So, like I said in some slides before, the amount of clubs in Buenos Aires means that there can be a lot of different identities within Argentine soccer. And just some more history. When soccer was being founded in the 1860s in England and France and Spain and all those European countries, each one of them developed their own style of soccer. The English developed theirs, the Spanish developed theirs, and it kind of stayed within the nation. However, Argentina is a very popular trading spot. The port city of Buenos Aires is very busy with European merchants, and a lot of European immigrants actually moved to Argentina. I know that when we think of European immigration, we think of America. However, America was developing its own sports at the time. Argentina, they developed soccer. And with all these different identities coming to Argentina, and these sailors and merchants, they would get off the ships and they would play their own version and style of soccer, which the people from Argentina copied. So you would have teams of Italian immigrants and Spanish immigrants that are still playing today, that were founded by Italian and Spanish immigrants, playing with Italian and Spanish styles of play, while the university students in the nation are playing with British and English style of play, and it really creates a culture where there's a bunch of different cultures, if that makes any sense. And something that we don't really get in America is how political soccer clubs can get. So this is Juan Perón. He was the dictator / president of Argentina in the 1800s. And there's a lot of soccer clubs and stadiums that are named after this guy. Clubs in Europe, a famous club being FC Barcelona, where the captain wears a red and yellow armband modeled after the Catalonian flag. Barcelona being located within the region of Catalonia, and the supporters of that club are very, very pro-Catalonian independence. So, how this ties all together is that you've got a bunch of different clubs that are very important to people with very different political ideologies. And since soccer is such a big deal in Argentina, that Argentina is really the only country that, in order for politicians to maintain popularity, they will actually give away free tickets to games. This is bad when you have such staunch political clubs where these stadiums and matches kind of become fighting matches against rival gangs and political parties. Because the tickets are free, anyone can go, and since anyone can go, you get a mass amount of people coming that violent acts can kind of be disguised and kind of hidden away in this just crowd of people coming to see the soccer matches for free. And I think this is really present with the Super Clasico against River Plate and Boca Juniors, which I will show a video of and will end the presentation from there.
Imagine Barcelona and Real Madrid meeting in the final of the Champions League times 100.
When the world's most fierce, famous rivalry meets. In a fixture with more at stake than ever before. Decided over 2 legs in 3 weeks in one city. Derby Days, Super Clasico, the first and possibly only ever as a Copa Libertadores final. I can't believe I'm saying that. Super Clasico, a term recognized the world over as the pinnacle of passion, atmosphere and rivalry in club football.
It's a fixture that's prone to hyperbole, just to everyone going over the top. But that's right, it's because that's the case.
Whenever, wherever they play, a riot of noise, colour, choreography and emotions manifest.
Esto es River y Boca.
No hay nada igual en el mundo.
Alongside an occasional, more sinister side.
No opto para cardíaco. Un amigo le quema la casa a otro amigo. ¿Lo puedes pensar?
In fact, in 2004, The Observer gave Super Clasico the #1 spot in their list of 50 sporting events you must experience before you die.
La gente, la pasión, la fiesta en las canchas, eso no está visto en ningún lado.
Colores, fuegos artificiales, una fiesta es el carnaval.
And so it comes as no surprise that ever since Derby Days began, no matter how many places we went, Serbia, Rome, Liverpool or Sydney, people still insisted we cover Super Clasico. But we always held back, our logic being that to cover the Super Clasico, the derby of all derbies, it had to be a special one.
Lo que viene será historia pura, lo que viene será lo más importante en cuanto a Boca River de la historia.
For the first time in their 100-year-old history, Boca Juniors and River Plate are meeting in the final of the Copa Libertadores, the South American equivalent of the Champions League.
Desde la semana que viene no habrá corazón que aguante.
No va a haber otro partido igual.
Pero la gente cree que esto es el antes y el después. Big Bang. Todo comienza. Todo. Big Bang. Explota todo.